Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vyasadeva Goswami Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vyasadeva Goswami Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की पतित पावन श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की। Hare Krishna. This morning we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3. Chapter 2, entitled as Remembrance of Krishna. Verse 8. Durbhagavat lokayam, Durbhagavat lokayam, Yadavo nitaram api, Yadavo nitaram api, Ye sam vasanto navidhur, Ye sam vasanto navidhur, Harimina ivodupam, Harimina ivodupam, Durbhagavat lokayam, Yadavo nitaramapi, Ye sam vasanto navidhu, Harimina ivodupam, Durbhagavat lokoyam, Harimina. Durvago batalokoyam. Luna vidur Harimina ivodupam. Durvago batalokoyam. Yadavo nitaramapi. Vasantuna vidur Harimina ivodupam. Mataji's. Durvago batalokoyam Yadavo nitaramapi. Yesam vasantuna vidur Harimina ivodupam. Durvago batalokoyam Yadavo. Word to word translation. Durbhaga, unfortunate. Bata, certainly. Lokaha, universe. I am this. Yadavaha, the Yadu dynasty. Nitaram, more specifically. Api, also. Ye, those. Samvasantaha, living together. Na, did not. Viduha, understand. Harim, the personality of Godhead. Minaha, the fishes. Eva, udupam, like the moon. Translation. Please repeat. This universe with all the planets is most unfortunate. And even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty. Because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead any more than the fish could identify the moon. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Uddhava lamented for the unfortunate persons of the world who could not recognize Lord Krishna in spite of seeing all his transcendental godly qualities. From the very beginning of his appearance within the prison bars of King Kamsa up to his Mausala Leela, although he exhibited his potencies as the personality of Godhead in the six opulences of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. The foolish persons of the world could not understand that he was the Supreme Lord. Foolish person might have thought him an extraordinary historic figure because they have no intimate touch with the Lord. But more unfortunate were the family members of the Lord, the members of the Yadu dynasty, who were always in the company with the Lord, but were unable to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhava lamented his own fortune also because although he knew Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not properly use the opportunity to render devotional service to the Lord. He regretted everyone's misfortune, including his own. The pure devotee of the Lord thinks himself most unfortunate. That is due to his excessive love for the Lord and is one of the transcendental perception of viraha, the suffering of separation. It is learned from the revealed scriptures that the moon was born from the milk ocean. There is a milk ocean in the upper planet, and there Lord Vishnu, who controls the heart of every living being as Paramatma, the super soul, resides as Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Those who do not believe in the existence of the ocean of milk, because they have experienced only the salty water in the ocean, should know that the world is also called the go, which means the cow. The urine of a cow is salty, and according to the Ayurvedic medicine, the cow's urine is very effective in treating patients suffering from liver trouble. Such patients may not have any experience of the cow's milk because the milk is never given to liver patients. But the liver patient may know that the cow has milk also, although he has never tasted it. Similarly, men who have experienced only of the tiny planet where the saltwater ocean exists may take information from the revealed scriptures that there is also an ocean of milk. Although we have never seen it. From this ocean of the milk, the moon was born. But the fish in the milk ocean could not recognize that the moon was not another fish and was different from them. The fish took the moon to be one of them, or maybe something illuminating, but nothing more. The unfortunate person who do not recognize Lord Krishna are like such fish. They take him to be one of them, although a little extraordinary in opulence and strength, etc. The Bhagavad Gita confirms such foolish persons to be the most unfortunate. Avajananti mam mudha manushyam dhanum ashritam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshushanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Te Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, in this chapter, very deep emotions. Right now, the chapter describes about Uddhava's emotions, then it also describes Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. It explains about the Uddhava's exalted position, and then it speaks about the few verses what we are discussing now, speaks about the unfortunate situation of the Yadus and the others. All is from the point of view of Uddhava's emotions. And the later verses, Uddhava will further describe while remembering the Lord, he will describe the beauty of the Lord. He will describe his beautiful activities, how he looked, his form, his ornament, how he displayed the beauty during the Rajasuya Yagya. And also later on, he will describe the pastimes, Shri Brajabhubi Vrindavan. He will glorify the killing of Kamsa and Shishupal, deliverance of Shishupal, and then killing of the demons, Vrindavan pastime, glorify the Yamuna, the cows, and also how he humbled the demigods, Brahma, Indra, and then lastly about the Rasa Leela. So like that, this whole chapter or remembrance of Uddhava is flowing in a lecture like almost a mini 10th canto. It's like a mini 10th canto. Because in 10th canto is directly the pastimes of Krishna. Correct? So similarly in this chapter, it's about pastimes of the Lord and about the Lord. But in this chapter, it's more from the perspective of emotions of Uddhava. That's how it is. If you see the flow, I was just going through it yesterday. The flow is more like, it's more perspective from the Uddhava's mood. And devotees, from this we can understand, when devotees, Srila Prabhupada said, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is for the sadhakas. But Vaishnavas, they are always living it. Imagine they are always living, remembering Krishna. They are further told to remember. They are always remembering Krishna. They are never forgetting Krishna. But if they are further told to remember Krishna, or they are asked more about details of Krishna, so various emotion flows. So in this purport and in this verses, Uddhava's lamentation, his own lamentation, the lamentation of the world, and the lamentation on the behalf of the family of Krishna, the Yadavas, Yadukul, you can say. So Prabhupada starts with of course in the purport also, starts with this universe with all its planets is most unfortunate. In the Sanskrit, it is written Durbhaga. Durbhaga, unfortunate. And there's a word also comes in Durbhagyam. Also, right? Comes from the word Durbhaga only. Durbhagya means unfortunate. Durbhagyam means individual unfortunate. Bhagyam, our unfortunate. So, unfortunate the persons of the world who could not recognize the Lord, Shri Krishna. Now, this is, if you see from a broader perspective, this is how the material world is. This is the laws of nature in the material world. That's why it is, Uddhava is lamenting that, oh, see, people could not recognize the Lord. But that's how the material world is. That's why it is not a place for a devotee to stay. Devotees only come to assist the Lord, glorify the Lord. And while doing this process, they leave their wonderful pastimes. Like the Lord are the devotees. They leave them for the conditioned souls. to contemplate, to learn, to take example from. Otherwise, it's not that Uddhava doesn't know this material world is a horrible place. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj says, this material world is not a place for a gentleman to live. And Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalam ashashvatam. Dukkhalam ashashvatam. And the amazing part is when Krishna is already branding, nowadays there's a whole concept of buying branded stuff, no? Correct or not? Chinese stuff, if you buy Chinese, it is said, no, there is a saying, Chinese hai to, kya bolte hai? Chale to chand tak, ne to raat tak. Chale to chand tak, ne to raat tak. Chinese. So, what was I telling before this? Branded, thank you. Branded. Krishna is branding the material world. With what? Dukkhalam ashashvatam. In such a branded world, we are so amazing people. That's why we are called unfortunate. We are so unfortunate. We are so amazing in the branded Dukkhalam ashashvatam. We are planning for Sukha and Shashvatam. Correct or not? We are planning for Sukha and Shashvatam. And that gives us further deep experience of Dukkhalam and Shashvatam. Deeper. The more you plan for Sukha and Shashvat in this material world, the deeper the experience of Dukkhalam and Shashvatam. Correct or not? So, and to do that, you have to be unfortunate. You have to be unfortunate. You have to forget Krishna. Krishna was personally there. How many of them knew who Krishna is the Supreme Lord? Only the devotees. Only the devotees. Material world is such an unfortunate place. What to speak about recognizing the Lord? They were criticizing the Lord also. They want to arrest the Lord also. Isn't it true? Recently I was just walking for a darshan a few months ago in Mayapur. So one devotee was very disturbed. He was very disturbed because one devotee spoke about him. And that devotee who spoke negative about him is a very good friend of him. So he was so disturbed that why is he not telling me directly? Why is he speaking like this about me? And we were doing like this. I did this for him. And he was just whole, tape recorder while I was walking, going on his emotions. I said, hold on. Arey Baba, who are you? Krishna comes in the material world, he is criticized. Prime Minister Modi is criticized, bhai. After social media, anyone and everyone is criticized. Why are you worried about your criticism, Baba? Correct or not? Why are you worried about your criticism? This is where we are stuck. My Guru Maharaj used to always say that, that pastime Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's story, that the boatman who wanted to cross the river and he was paid extra money, the passenger said, please cross me, and whole night he was crossing. With extra money he was crossing. And when he got up in the morning, whole night after driving the boat, he was there only, the same place. And the passenger and the boatman both were surprised. Arey kya hai? Pura raat chalaya hai. Aur udhar hi hu. Why? Guru Maharaj used to say, wo kullad nahi nikala hai na. Guru Maharaj used to say, langar. My Guru Maharaj used to say, langar nahi nikala hai. That means you are holding on with the attachments and you want to cross the Bhausagar. Wow, amazing, no? So the people are unfortunate and amazing. Their desires are like even, what to speak. With so many material desires, with the world which is Dukkhalam, Ashashvatam, we want to live here. Forget about Dukhalam ashashvatam. Even that's about the world. Correct? Now you see from your own perspective. From the own perspective. It's a full of anxiety. The person who is not married is worried about marriage. And the person who's married is also worried, why did I get married? That's why Prabhupada says, Dilli ka laddu, jo khaya, pastaya, jo nahi khaya, wo bhi pastaya. Only the grahasthas know, married people know what I am talking. Because they come in the category, Dilli ka laddu, jo khaya. You know? Wo pastaya. Only married people can understand this. Correct or not? How many married here? Oh, very few, huh? There's a big crowd, jo nahi khaya laddu, huh? There's a big crowd which has not eaten that laddu. So, for those who have not eaten, I would say there is nothing great about the laddu. But Vaishnavas are different. They have a purpose. They get married to serve Krishna. I'm not talking about Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are very special. Vaishnava Prabhus are very special. They are totally detached, surrender to the mission of the Guru, completely given up sense gratification. Even for a minute, they don't think about sense gratification in their mind. Mataji's Vaishnavis, they are not like this. They don't have material desires. They don't harass their husband. They don't fight with them. And they have no material desires at all. That is different, devotees. Our Mohan Rupa Prabhu, few days ago we were in Delhi. He's such an amazing senior leader. He was speaking everything about Mataji's and Prabhu's. And telling, आप लोग को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं. आप लोग तो भक्त हो. आप लोग को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं तो बाहर के लोगों की बात कर रहा हूँ. You were there, no? Not there? Who was there? You were there? ये जगत जगत में फंसे हुए सब शादी कर करके अपने परिवार के बारे में ही सोचना है, परमार्थ के बारे में सोचेंगे नहीं, भगवान के धाम जाना है वो सोचेंगे नहीं, वो एक दो तुले सोने के लिए पूरा संसार बिछड़ जाता है, घर पे तांडव हो जाता है, एक घर दूसरे भाई को दे दिया तो मतलब पूरा मुंह फुला के बैठ जाते हैं जिंदगी भर के लिए. ऐसा आप लोग को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, माता जी लोग, आप लोग को नहीं, आप लोग ऐसे नहीं, आप लोग भक्त हो. Like that he was superbly, he was giving and not giving, both, you know. So, in this verse, Prabhupada writes in the purport about Krishna's, he talks about Uddhava. Actually, first he's talking about the foolish position of the materialist in the material world. So the reason is that material attachment. Even this material world is such a place that even the demigods who were praying for the Lord to appear, after he appeared, they forget. They forget. This is such a place. Some to assist the pastimes of the Lord, some to teach us, but in majority to teach us. Just to teach us. Teach us that we should not forget Krishna. We should not forget Krishna Tattva. Yesterday morning, we read Prabhupada's quote. Anyone remember yesterday morning, what was it? Philosophy. One should know the philosophy, but more important than knowing it, following. One should know the philosophy, but more important than knowing is the following. We have seen our process of Krishna consciousness, this beautiful program which Srila Prabhupada has designed for all of us. Many of us come, we hear the philosophy, we don't understand it. But when we follow the life based on Krishna consciousness philosophy beautifully given by Srila Prabhupada, we actually realize the philosophy also. Correct or not? We see the darshan of the Lord in the Mangal Arati. We offer prayers. Initially it's very mechanical. Correct or not? Initially it's mechanical. But eventually we develop taste. Eventually we start to realize we start to experience. Start to experience. That's why following the philosophy is in one way essence. And Prabhupada in ISKCON has given that process of following the philosophy. You rise up in the morning, you take darshan of the deities, you worship the deities, you offer flowers to the deities, you offer water to the deities, and then you chant your japa. Before that you offer water to Tulasi, circumambulated Tulasi. Many, if you see in Nectar of Devotion, many of the instructions, teachings which are given in Nectar of Devotion, one devotee was telling, at least 30 to 40 of them are followed between 4:30 to 9 a.m. Ends with including prasadam. Today Dwadasi, I was feeling so hungry. I called my cook. I told him, 7:30 before the class I'll take prasad. He said, Prabhu ji, aaj 9:10 hai. बोला अरे बाप रे आज ही भूख लग रहा है. Then I ate 2 bananas and came. He ends with prasadam. Philosophy is very difficult. I remember I heard from one disciple directly speaking who had this conversation with Srila Prabhupada that he went to Srila Prabhupada and he said he was very disgusted because neither the books were going and he was trying to preach in some university and nobody was ready to listen in also. Nobody was ready to listen him also. But it is the standard culture even in ISKCON today also. But just before the prasadam time, everything is full, he said. Everyone is there for the prasadam. And he was very disgusted, they're just coming for prasadam. So Prabhupada told, in the material world, people are so ignorant. They are not, their intelligence is not sharp, not developed enough to understand Krishna consciousness. Just give them prasadam. Just by eating prasadam, they will develop the consciousness to understand Krishna consciousness. They will develop the intelligence to understand. That is why Attapur is famous for giving prasad only. We are very strictly following that. Correct or not? All of you agree this or not? Arey, jor se bolo. Just feed prasadam profusely. These are the 3 programs. We can take over the world. Conquer. Ours is a mission. A mission means take over, conquer. बोलते ना बड़ी मछली छोटी मछली को खा लेती है. That is the culture in the material world. But ours is not like that. Ours is we are conquering the heart of people. Right? Heart of people. By what? By what? Prasadam is a part of it. What? By Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission. By Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission. That is very, very important. Prabhupada writes in the purport that Uddhava was lamenting about himself also. Uddhava was lamenting about himself also, that he knew the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he also could not serve the Lord very nicely. This is due to excessive love for the Lord. One of the transcendental perception of viraha, that is suffering in separation. In the material world, viraha is there in the material world also. Generally, when the person is there, people criticize in life, left and center. When he is gone, they glorify him for a day. Correct or not? When he is gone, they glorify him for a day. बहुत अच्छा था, ये था, वो था, ऐसा था, वैसा था, मगर अच्छा था. They glorify him for a day because that's his day. खाना भी मिलता है, you know. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? तेरवा ना? क्या? तेरवा, 13 day. 13 day, that fellow also thinks that, well, people in my family will not be able to live without me. Then the Yamadutas leave him for a second, and he sees that the world is going on without me, as it was before I was with them. Then he also goes. So in the material world, people remember. But that remember of a person in the material world until he's a Vaishnava. If that remember is totally, that vira is totally different. Like Prabhupada used to say, that great politicians, there are statues in different places. And their Jayanti will be there. Suddenly one day their Jayanti will be there. Immediately the government office will come, municipality car will come. They'll take a brush and a sweep and a sabun, and they will rub that deity of that politician. Clean it very nicely. Because next day is his Jayanti. They'll put garland on him. And everyone will salute, speak about him, glorify him. For next 364 days, the deity will be kept like this, and the crows will pass urine and stool on it. That's how they are remembered all year. Once in a year they are remembered, Prabhupada says. Throughout the year, the birds will pass stool on him. Correct or not? Prabhupada writes there. But the vira which Srila Prabhupada is talking about here is related to this is a very deep subject. Feeling separation from the Lord in pure devotion. It is said the devotee experiences the presence of the Lord in that separation thousands of times more than in the presence of the Lord. In the presence of the Lord. Thousands of times more. That separation and the emotions and the feeling of that separation is so deep, it even attracts the Supreme Lord to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord himself gets attracted that devotion of a devotee. That fixedness and completely surrendered, total dependence. While testing that devotee, the Lord gets attracted to his devotion. You see this in various pastimes, it is there mentioned in the scriptures. In fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exemplifies that viraha, and he established a whole spiritual dham. It is called Vipralamba Kshetra. What is that? Jagannath Puri. It is called Vipralamba Kshetra. The Lord and his pure devotees, remembering them is actually either chanting the holy name of the Lord or either remembering the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees, remembering his devotees, is the only object, only activity in the material world which can give pleasure to the soul. Nothing else. Nothing else can give pleasure to the soul except this activity. That is why we celebrate it. Now we are entering a very auspicious or very glorious moment of ISKCON. Recently we had a meeting of a committee, of a global committee. I am a part of it. It's called 60-50 committee. 60-50. What does it mean? Next year is going to be the 60 years of ISKCON, and 2026 is 60 years of ISKCON, and 2027, 50 years of Srila Prabhupada's departure. 50 years of Srila Prabhupada's departure. So glorifying ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna is one of the activity. We are having meetings how to glorify Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee of Krishna. That is being discussed. Because now Srila Prabhupada is not physically with us, but in separation, which is viraha. In that separation, Every year, Srila Prabhupada's disappearance festival is there celebrated in Vrindavan. Every year. That's a festival of Viraha, separation from Srila Prabhupada. And devotees speak about Srila Prabhupada's life with them. And we all feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada. We all feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada. That's how the pastimes of the Lord and the devotees are. Like this time, some of you, we all were there. But I made some notes, various Prabhupada disciples who spoke. One devotee was mentioning that, actually Gurudas Prabhu, I think, he was mentioning, once he asked Srila Prabhupada, how are those fruits in Goloka? Anyone remembers this? Gurudas Prabhu spoke, Prabhupada, how are the fruits in Goloka? Srila Prabhupada replied, the fruits in Goloka don't have seeds and skin, and they're very juicy. And once you finish one, the second comes in your next hand. The second comes in your next hand, he said. Burijan Prabhu was speaking. He spoke very beautiful. He said, Srila Prabhupada, he was such a person, unpredictable. Yesterday we were reading from Nitai Madhav Prabhu was speaking about the challenges Srila Prabhupada was facing, Vallacharya. What challenges he faced, what pastimes he left for us, about his difficulties. But when Krishna reciprocated to his hard work, it is said Srila Prabhupada was so proud about the glories of following the instruction of the spiritual master and about the miracles of the holy name. These two were Prabhupada's pride, that he had complete faith in the holy name and he followed the instruction of his spiritual master. The way he preached after established ISKCON in 65, the way he preached, even before Srila Prabhupada was non-compromising, but after ISKCON was established or while he is of establishing ISKCON, those pastimes are in record. They're so beautiful. Like Burijan Prabhu was mentioning, they were in Africa, in Congo, South Africa and Congo. And there was a gathering of Indian businessmen, more than 300. And with the gathering, there were some sadhus invited, Indian sadhus. So there was one Mayavadi sadhu. He was speaking Mayavad philosophy. At first, Srila Prabhupada tolerated for a while. And the guy started offending the Lord indirectly. Prabhupada was sitting there chanting, and he just could not tolerate. He was with his disciples, and suddenly he said, stop him. That was Srila Prabhupada. In front of 500 people, businessmen, a sadhu speaking on the stage, and Prabhupada is telling, stop him. He said, that was Srila Prabhupada. He said, what to do? We all 20-30 of us, we had to follow him. Immediately we started kirtan and stopped his speech. He said, that was Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, I could not tolerate him. When I am preaching, I am a lion. When I am out on preaching, I am a lion. Same, Burijan Prabhu speaks another very personal pastime. He says, once Srila Prabhupada for some reason had dissolved the GBC. GBC has made some mistake and Srila Prabhupada made an announce. The GBC is dissolved till my further notice. That was a big statement. And Prabhupada was very disappointed with certain mistake by certain leaders. So Burijan Prabhu, to encourage Srila Prabhupada, he had made one ring to give to Srila Prabhupada. The ring had Jai ISKCON written. Jai ISKCON ring. So Burijan Prabhu thought Prabhupada is very disappointed. Let me encourage and make him happy by giving this ring. So he entered Srila Prabhupada's room. In the room, there were 2-3 disciples, senior leaders. and one servant. And Burijan Prabhu entered. He got the ring. He was given the ring already. Prabhupada wore it. And then Burijan Prabhu entered the room. Gift was already given. He was wearing it. After giving, Burijan Prabhu entered the room, he sat there. So one of the GBC men, Prabhupada, while speaking, he saw the ring. He said, Jai ISKCON. He said, Srila Prabhupada, that's a new ring. It's beautiful. Who gave you? Prabhupada looked at Burijan Prabhu, looked at everyone in the room, again looked at Burijan Prabhu. Somebody gave me. Someone gave me. Burijan Prabhu was sharing that. That was Srila Prabhupada. That was Srila Prabhupada. He would never allow his disciples to be proud of. He could see through. He could see through us what we want. I was just giggling in my heart. Prabhupada is going to go, Burijan brought it for me. And Prabhupada looked at me and said, somebody got it. Somebody got it. That was Srila Prabhupada. Pure devotee and the Lord, His pastimes. This creates their presence by hearing it. The purity is that. Anyone and everyone you speak, it will not have that emotions. Only pure Vaishnavas and Supreme Lord. Srila Navayogendra Maharaj, when he came on the stage, he said, that there was one Mr. Modi. He said, Narendra Modi nahi. A young businessman at that time. And he had come to meet Srila Prabhupada. He was very impressed by reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And Srila Prabhupada had not completed. I think he was completed some 7 to 8 cantos. So, Navayogendra Maharaj, a young sannyasi, was there. This gentleman told Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, I have read your Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And I want the whole set of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He got 1 canto. I want the whole set of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Prabhupada replied to him that I have not yet completed. So this man, he said, Swamiji, your presentation of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so sublime, so unique, so special. You should complete this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Your presentation is very, very nice. And he was a young businessman. Prabhupada was very happy that a young gentleman is able to read and glorify Bhagavatam. He was very happy. What did Srila Prabhupada do? Srila Prabhupada looked at him and he said, with great humility, looked at his eyes and he said, you please bless me so that I complete Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. You please bless me so that I complete Śrīmad. Our situation, if a junior doesn't pay obeisances, we are disturbed for the day. Correct? A junior doesn't disturb obeisances to us, we are disturbed for the day. Our situation. And Prabhupada showed this humility that, you please pray so that I complete. In fact, Mukundatta Prabhu, when he came, he spoke more deep. It was so amazing. He said after Srila Prabhupada left, in 1978, the first Mayapur festival without Srila Prabhupada, 1978. Brahmananda Maharaj was giving class on the 5th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in Mayapur festival. The chapter was Instruction of Rishabdev to his sons. And Brahmananda was speaking and he said, Rishabdev, the sons, they were very fortunate. They got these instructions. They are very powerful verses. Naham Deho. Very powerful instruction. He said, Rishabdev's sons were so fortunate. They got this instruction from their father. But Brahmananda Swami started crying. He said, but we were not having such father. We were not that fortunate. And he broke down and crying. He said, but Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee of Krishna, he came all the way, took so much pain in such an old age. He came and gave this instruction to us. And he broke down crying and he could not give the class. And they did just kirtan. That's the life when you're attached to pure devotee. So, in this verse, in the later Srila Prabhupada writes about the milk ocean, the moon, the fish in the milk ocean, but it is more to establish to have faith in the scriptures. We are in the material world, contaminated mind, calculating our own intelligence. If we are tasting salt ocean, everywhere it should be salt ocean only. Isn't it true? That 1 paisa circus, Bhakti Siddhanta says, no? हम लोग नमक का समुंदर देख रहे, सब जगह नमक का समुंदर होना चाहिए. If you talk about Radheshyam Prabhu, once, he was giving us Shiksha Ashtakam class, 2004-5 something. So he was telling that the moment you tell the material intellects that in the milk ocean, the Lord, Shirodakshai Vishnu is lying, immediately we'll think, how many cows must have made that milk? It must be so expensive, 80 rupees liter the milk is, 80 rupees liter doodh hai. How many cows up together must have, how expensive that ocean must be. Immediately we'll think like that. Immediately. Materialistic way of thinking. But we should follow what the later part of the purport means is, we should not make ourselves unfortunate. If scriptures are mentioning something, we should accept it. Bona fide authorities say something, we should accept it, we should follow it. That is success from bona fide source. Any instructions. Like Dhruva Maharaj, you see. Dhruva Maharaj, when you follow from his mother Sunidhi, right? Suniti is his mother. Now, Suruchi told Dhruva, you cannot sit in the throne because you are not born of me. He cries and goes to Suniti. Now what does Suniti do? Prabhupada glorifies her in the purport. What does she do? She heard that Suniti spoke like this, but what did she tell him? Don't think ill of others. And then? Suriji told, until you worship Vishnu, take birth and my womb, you cannot sit. So she said, yes, what she told is right. What she told is right. You go and worship Vishnu and you will get Krishna. You will get the Lord. You go and worship, all your desires will be fulfilled. So in our spiritual life, this is a very big teaching. We will face such situation. Suppose someone comes to you and tells you that Prabhuji, he was speaking like this about you. Immediately you will get into how good you are and how bad he is. Correct or not? We get into that. But Vaishnava means takes this and gives the essence. Prabhupada said, gold, even if it is in the dirt, mud, one should take it and utilize it. Similarly, any situation it may be, we all should be very focused on following the Vaishnava philosophy. In specific, Lord Chaitanya's teachings. Trinadapi suri chena taroriva sahishuna amanina manadena kirtanina sadahari. So, amanina manadena. I don't want any respect for me, but I will give respect to everyone. That is Lord Chaitanya's teaching. When we always contemplate on the teachings and the philosophy, always contemplate that where am I lacking and who is that wonderful Vaishnava who is actually following. When we are in this contemplation, any situation we come across, it helps us to apply. To contemplate, we should have a heart of gratitude. What we lack, this material world is unfortunate. People are very selfish, ungrateful. Very selfish and ungrateful. And then, Kalera Dosha Nidhi. Kalera Dosha Nidhi. Kali Yuga is empowered to find fault. On finding fault leads us to become ungrateful. And by becoming ungrateful, we lose the gratitude. What we are, what we have, we don't understand. Like the Lord, Prabhupada writes in a purport, people go to the deities and pray with a list of things. And the Lord is waiting. When He will by mistake think, what He has, I have given it, why I gave Him. The Lord is waiting when He will think that. What He has is given by me, why I gave Him is not thinking that. Prayers are heard when the heart of gratitude is there. Prayers are heard when the heart of gratitude is there. That is why Amanina Manatena. That is Sankirtan all about. That is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan mission all about. We just want to give love. That's it. Nothing else. That's why, and in this month of marathon, we try to flood the world with the love. Right? Sankirtan. Sankirtana hoite sarva papanashanana chitta suddhi sarva bhakti sadhana udgama. Sankirtana hoite sarva papanashanana chitta suddhi sarva bhakti sadhana udgama. Sankirtan, wherever the propagation of the Lord's holy name is happening, that Papanashanan means sins are destroyed. You know GHMC people, if one day GHMC people will not come to clean the street, you know what will happen? Can you walk on the street? You can walk, but you'll walk like this. Isn't it true? Correct or not? One day. Garbage. Similarly, there is subtle garbage. Subtle sins. Can you see your sin? You can see the reaction of sin. Can you see the sin? No, but it is available in the ether. It's there. People live in the houses and perform sins. People live in the material perform sins. Who is going to clean that? GHMC? Sankirtana hoite sarva papanashanana. When Sankirtan devotees go out with tilak on their head, nicely dressed up with dhoti kurta, when they go out, call out the name of the Lord, give the message of the Lord, just by seeing them, their enthusiasm, sins get clean. Just like you go out, nothing is there. Kal pheka, subah gayab. Hai na? Similarly, that sins are eradicated. And then what happened? Chitta Shuddhi. Heart of the people in the world get purified. And then what happens to them? Sadhana Udgama. They get ready to accept Krishna consciousness. That is preaching. That is preaching. Many times preachers get influenced by a few followers and they become Guru Maharaj or Guru Mata. And their goal is those few people. And their goal, rest of the life, they only want one asana. बैठने मिल जाए, लोग मिल जाए, बस साल में एक यात्रा चले जाओ, हो गया खत्म. That's not the mission. Our mission is not that. Our mission is utsaha, right? Nishchaya, dhairya, right? Utsaha. How do we get utsaha? That's what we want to do. You go for book distribution and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hare Krishna, where are you from? Take this book. Nahi chahiye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next person. Hare Krishna, how are you? Take this book. Utsaha, enthusiasm. Correct or not? Our Madhusundar Prabhu, he was sharing very nicely in the Sankirtan meet at Pune. He was telling when the new boys come for book distribution, after 10-15 minutes, after an hour, 20 minutes, they go and sit down. क्या हुआ? कोई डांट दिया क्या? नहीं नहीं नहीं. गाली दिया क्या? नहीं नहीं नहीं. And they get slowly they get used to it. You know? Amani na maan dena. No, you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are nobody. People don't care on the road. People don't care on the road. You know, isn't it true? They don't care. Hey, chalo. Hey, थोड़ा side हो जाओ. बोले अरे मैं इंजीनियर हूँ. Hat? This is, Prabhupada wanted us to win the world with this humility. That is why marathon, Srila Prabhupada wanted everyone to be absorbed in Sankirtan. Go out and distribute books. We are already, our quota is what? 1,08,000. I am the feeling in 1 week only that will be done. In 1 week only it will be done. Yeah, Prabhupada said, I have only one problem. What is that? I cannot think small. That's it. We all should have this one problem of Srila Prabhupada as his followers. But we should think big from where we are standing. From where we are standing. From there we should think big. So, we are heading to the marathon now. We should all very enthusiastically distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Those who are not distribution should assist the distribution, organize and plan, call people, strategize. This message is the hope. Whatever I spoke is from these books, Srila Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada used to also say, what a 1 hour lecture can do. If they read one page, their life will change. Their life will change. Prabhupada used to say, at a couple of occasions, Srila Prabhupada, he actually showed the symptoms of the purpose of his coming. At one occasion, Srila Prabhupada was a little disgusted with something, and he made a statement. He said, I never wanted to come here. Krishna sent me to write these books. Krishna sent me to write these books. What treasure we are holding and living in this material world. What a treasure. The message of the spiritual world. Golokera prema dana harinama sankirtana. So Yuga Dharma is Nam Sankirtan. But these books are meant to philosophically convince people that the goal of life is Krishna. The essence is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So all of you, please be completely absorbed, take your opportunity and plan, contemplate, plan. Everyone should think. Material world people are shameless. Shameless people. Spiritually we should become shameless to ask people to take Krishna. अरे नहीं उसको नहीं मैं पूछूंगा, इसको नहीं पूछूंगा, वो मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा? नहीं. You should be overly enthusiastic and tell them. Overly enthusiastic. Krishna will give intelligence. There was one Christian missionary. He was preaching in one building, door to door, with the Bible and few books. So one of our Sankirtan devotee happened to be there, living. So this man came to that devotee and he showed the Bible. Accept Bible, excess issue, become the devotee, issue will take your sins, you will become free from your sins, you will become happy man. So he said that, our devotee, he just looked at him. Krishna gave him intelligence. He said, I was a Christian, he told him. And I read this book and I became more happy. He had his books. The lady could not think what to say. Because we have tattva, sadhana. We have vibes and energy, substance. We have prasadam. I remember once Christian missionary program was there. So they were distributing meat in that after the program. So people started fighting for meat, right, left and center, and the two fathers started punching each other. Because purity is not there. Sadhana is not there. So we have that. We have that. We have to take it very seriously. Somehow or other, this Sankirtan, Prasadam, books, especially the books, we cannot imagine the impact of this preaching of book distribution. One is it produces solid devotees. Devotees become very solidified in Sankirtan. And second is, when people read these purports, these books have already chosen their people. They already have someone who's waiting for it. We just have to push them out. Who's going to read is already destined. It's already destined. We just have to make them available. That's only our glories. We just have to make them available. Done. And you see, personally, my father became a life member in 1981. And the bag of books which we got as a membership program was lying there. Nobody touched it. My father used to here and there read it. Once I went to Vrindavan Parikrama, then I came back. I read Chaitanya Netrov, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada's biography. That was done. That was done. I said, kuch aur karna hi nahi abhi. We don't know what is meant for whom. Such stories are there of book distribution. Miracle of book distribution. The more the books goes, that many devotees you are making already for the future. Already. And you are solidifying. But when you preach, that's very important also. But it's very limited to your realization. Very limited to your realization. But when you make them read books and give books out, you get solidified and you're already creating a big mass to take over the world. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan Mission ki, Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon ki. So please take up the marathon very seriously and reach out. Jai. Any questions? Who had? Jai Shri Prabhupada.